Today's video is going to be like a chit chat kind of video, and I want to share with you guys why I wrote my ebook and the lessons I've learned from creating the ebook, okay? Because I know that writing or creating an ebook is one of the ways that you can create a passive income for yourself. So if you're looking to diversify your income next year and you have all it takes to create an ebook, or you have so much value that you don't know how to monetize it, I would recommend that you create an ebook from the knowledge that you have. Okay, so here is my ebook, A Smart Girl's Guide to Freedom. This is a printed copy of it, but it's an ebook. So anyway, I've talked so much about the book that I feel like I've not really talked about why I decided to write the ebook, and just share lessons from creating this passive income for myself with you guys, so that I can just help you in one way or another. So it's going to be a chit chat kind of video. Okay, so if you're interested, please keep watching. Hello beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yemi, and this channel is all about inspiring you to own your life, live up to your potentials, and to be your best self. So please don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell notification if you enjoyed this video, because I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. You're going to find value in this video. So if you do, please don't forget to subscribe for more videos and turn on your notification. All right, so initially at the beginning of this year, I did not plan to write an ebook. I didn't plan to create an ebook whatsoever. I'd originally planned for this year to create a course, okay? I planned to create a course on some topics that I knew that people had need in that area, and I had so much information, so much value in that area that I don't want to just put it out and it will be affected by the algorithm on YouTube. So I decided that I was going to create a course. But then when I was discussing my plans with one of my friends and we're just sharing ideas, and when she was talking back to me, she thought I was referring to a book. She didn't know that I was talking about a course. So she just mentioned, oh, the book will be this, the book will be that. And I was like, I'm not writing a book, it's a course. And she was like, oh, okay. And then when she said it, it just prompted me to go back and sit down, like maybe what I'm describing, it's better off as an ebook or as a book. So I just went back to do my research, and I realized that I don't have enough audience that would make the course really profitable for me, because creating a course requires a lot of work, it requires a lot of effort, and you may need to invest financially in the course. And so I didn't even know if it was going to be profitable, and most importantly, I didn't even know if I had the audience for what I was doing. So it just prompted me to go back and do my research, and I realized that there are more than one ways to monetize this knowledge that I had. And then so that was when I decided on an ebook. I removed the idea of course, and then there was an option to create a paid webinar, but I realized that I thought to myself that I already have a YouTube channel where I talk, so I don't think like it will make sense to monetize a webinar or a training or something of sort. So I just went back and I decided on an ebook. So that was the process of getting to creating my ebook. So now let me talk about the why. And as I talk about the why, I'm going to share some tips and some points that will help you if you're looking to create an ebook as well. So the very first reason why I decided to create this ebook is because I was starting to get a lot of questions on the topic, how do I discover my unique assets? And if you've been following my channel for a while now, you know that I talk about leveraging your unique assets, discovering your unique assets, your unique gifts. And I like to call it your unique asset because it's like an asset. It's something that you own, whether you maximize it or not. It is always with you. It is your own, I call it your unique asset. Some people call it gift. Some people call it talent. Maybe I chose to use asset because of my accounting background, or I don't know, but I just like it that way, so that you have a sense of belonging, you have a sense of ownership with what you have. That's why I like to call it your unique asset. But anyway, that's not the point. I was starting to get a lot of questions on how to discover that, especially after this video. From this video that I made and I also shared on Instagram, I'm going to put the thumbnail to that video here, and I'm going to link it to the card section and in the description box. I talked about the 3 things you need to master, the 3 skills you need to learn this year, So after that video, I got a lot of questions on how do I discover my unique asset? How do I do this? How do I do that? And I was replying to a lot of DMs and, emails. I got quite a few emails as well on that. So I was like, you know what? This is a good topic. It means a lot of people are in need of clarity on this topic. So I would say if you want to create a product or you want to create an ebook on anything, make sure that it's something that people know you for. Maybe it's something that you already talk about on your channel or on your Instagram page or with people around you. Make sure it's something that people are asking you and something that you are good at, something that you can answer the question. I always talk about unique assets, so people ask me that and I have the knowledge and the information on that area. So I just created the ebook of that question, but that's not the only thing that the ebook is about, because discovering your unique asset is not the only thing that you need to do. After discovering it, there are steps to take, so I just combined all the information into the ebook. So the second reason why I decided to do this is because, again, at the beginning of the year, I read a book. The title of the book is an ebook, but it's an ebook. I read the e-version of the book. So the title of the book is The Almanac of Ravi Raktikant. Oh my God, I don't want to murder the name, but I'm going to put the title on the screen for you guys. And I also shared what I'm about to say now in one of the videos. I think that same video. So that book is basically about creating wealth and happiness for your life. So creating wealth and also creating happiness alongside the wealth, So anyway, there was something that struck me in that book, and I also shared it in that video that I talked about just now. So the book mentioned something that really struck me, and it said that creating wealth is about discovering what to do, who to do it with, and when to do it. But I added where. No, the book said where to do it, but I added when and where to do it. So what to do, who to do it with, and when to do it. Where, timing, and the location for that thing that you want to do. And then I realized that the very first question, what to do, is something that I had a personal experience with. Before I figured out what I wanted to do with my life, it took me a while, which is understandable because your 20s is a time of exploration, so it's understandable, right? But it took me a while. I had so much time on my hands that I didn't maximize the time because I didn't know what I wanted to do, So I realized that I had a personal experience with this, and I'm at this point that I've already figured out what to do with my life. So I had enough information to share on that based on what I've read, based on my own personal experience, based on my journey, based on the things that I've learned, the books I've read, everything, I just wanted to pack that information in one place for people, because another area that I got a lot of questions on was how to avoid overwhelm, how to avoid overwhelm in your personal development journey. That was another area that I got a lot of questions, and it was even the question that I got from my very first coaching clients, the young lady that I coached. That was the question she asked, that she's overwhelmed with a lot of information that out there. So I wanted to make sure that knowledge is in one place. Like, they don't have to, whoever reads the book doesn't have to go back to somewhere else for more information. I wanted it to be in that ebook. So that was the second reason why I created my ebook, to help people answer the question of what to do so that you can go ahead and figure out the how. In my ebook, I also explained how. So it's not just about how to do, to find what you do, but also how to make sure you bring that idea to life. You maximize that thing that you've discovered about yourself. So that's another aspect of the ebook and the reason why. And again, the third reason why I created that book is something that I mentioned earlier. I've kind of talked about it, that I wanted something that people can always go back to, refer to. So, I read a lot of books, and every now and then I find that I go back to those hard copy books. That's why I enjoy reading hard copy. I find that I always go back to those books. For example, the book that I always go back to is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I always make reference to this other book, Gifted Hands, because that was a book that actually transformed my life. I mentioned the books that changed my life in a video. I'm also going to leave that in the card section for you guys if you want to, watch the video. But anyway, so I enjoy hard copy books because I can always go back for clarity if there's something that I need to know, and I remember that I've read something, a tip or an encouragement or anything, inspiration from a particular book. I go back to get inspired again. So I wanted to create something like that, and I don't want to create something that will tell you, oh, do this, do that, like 1, 2, 3 list of things to do, and you do those things and you realize that your problem is not solved. I wanted to create a book of principles that when you read the book, it will spark up your curiosity. you will be forced to think deep, so it's more like a guide. It's more like prompt questions, things to help you to sit down with yourself and ask yourself the right questions. Like I always say, if you sit down with yourself, if you spend time in solitude but you're asking yourself the wrong questions, you will still get the wrong answers and you will still be in the same position. So to maximize your alone time, to maximize that time that you want to engage in a personal development, I wanted to create something that will help you to spark up your curiosity and at the same time help you through that journey. Do you understand? So I wanted to create something that people can always fall back to and create a guide, create a prompt. I didn't want it to be just a list of do's and don'ts. I wanted it to be about principles because that's what has helped me so far in my life and that's what I enjoy about reading. Okay, so those are the 3 reasons why I created an ebook. So I would say that if you're looking to create an ebook or to create a digital product or anything, to as a passive income, I would say that make sure that it's something that you have enough information on, you can go on and on and on and on about, and you are gifted at, because you don't know how much that ebook or that product is going to, you don't know how scalable that product is, because I've gotten more questions again from the ebook, feedbacks as well, questions as well, and people are just sending me encouragement from the book, and it has also encouraged me to scale up the content of the book into a coaching business, which I'm going to launch next year and I'm very excited about. So whatever you do, make sure that it is valuable. Make sure that you put your heart into it, because it tells a lot about you and it will help you to create something that is scalable, so that's something that I would say if you're looking to create a product, and make sure it's something that you have enough knowledge about, enough information about, and that it's in demand. People look to you in that line, people look up to you for answers to the questions that you're trying to solve. Okay, all right, so now let me go into the lessons I've learned while creating this book and selling this book, or after creating and selling this book. I want to share that with you guys. But if you've watched this video up to this point and you're yet to give it a thumbs up, please give this video a thumbs up so that it can reach a lot more people, so that it can help a lot more people as well. Okay, thank you. And if you're not subscribed, this is the best time to do that. Okay, all right, so let me go into the lessons. So the very first lesson I want to share with you guys from creating and selling this ebook is that you should think of marketing ahead of time. Think of marketing your product ahead of time, okay? Maybe while you're designing your product, or when whatever, just think of marketing your product alongside creating it. I think that was the mistake I made, but I won't call it a mistake. I would say that's the biggest lesson. That is the first lesson I learned from creating this ebook. And if I'm going to start all over again, if I'm going to do it again, I will think of marketing while thinking of the value. I was so focused on the value that I want the book to give. I was so focused on value because I personally believe that making money is an exchange of value. So I wanted the money to, the value of the book to be whatever price that I'm going to request or give people. So I was so focused on the value that I didn't even think of marketing. Like, I didn't think of marketing. And it was until after reading the book, Show Your Work, that it now occurred to me that, oh, I should have read this book even before creating my product. But, it's part of the lessons, even Jesus Christ went about doing good. He didn't sit down in one position and waited for people to come before he did good. Okay, come on to me, I will do you good. He also went about doing good. Like, it was going up and down. So so I'm just using that as an example, not to think of marketing as something that, well, that was the mindset I had. Don't think of marketing as something that will reduce the value of the product you're creating. Think of marketing as a way that, think of it as some of how you are doing people a favor. You want them to see this value. You want them to get this value. So go ahead and market it so that people will see the value in what you're creating. But I was so focused on creating. I enjoy creating. I enjoy solving problems. I enjoy helping, So I didn't even think of the marketing at all. It was until after, when I reached out to Korede Ajibade, I reached out to her at a point when I was trying to figure out the design, the cover of the book, and she was also writing a book as well. In fact, that was something that she did that I really enjoyed. She was sharing the process, and that was even how I knew that she was writing a book and she could help me with the problem, the challenge I was facing at the time, because she was sharing the process of creating the book. And that's something that I learned from that book, Show Your Work. So when I reached out to her, she asked me, how are you going to market the book? Where are you going to sell it? What platforms are you going to use? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I was like, okay. I was like, are you sure I'm not going to find someone to do all of these things for me? Because I'm not really like, I'm not really a salesy person, but now I have a different mindset to that. It's not really about being salesy. It's about showing the things that you have, showing forth the good work that you're doing, you know? So she really encouraged me, and it was because of her I went back to read the book, Show Your Work. I think in my previous video, I've already talked about the books that I read this year, and I am encouraging you guys to read. But anyway, so that was when it was after this process that I went to read that book, and it really opened up my mind to marketing. So I would say that think of marketing ahead of time while creating your products. You know, how are you going to market it? How are you going to sell it to which people? You know, all of that, just think about it alongside, okay? The second lesson I learned is also in line with marketing, which is sharing the process of creating this book, okay? I think a lot of people now are more concerned about the process. You know, it just helps them to be a part of that product that you're creating. This is something, again, that I didn't know, and it's a lesson that I've learned, that whatever I'm doing, I would share the process with people, because it makes them feel like they are part of these products that you are bringing out. As much as you're trying to create these products to help them, but then being a part of the process of creating that book, it helps them to, it builds up the demand for that product, and it also helps them to feel a part, as you know, co-ownership with the book. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, it helps them to feel a part of the process, and you know, you're likely to buy something that you feel a part of it. Like you have a share. It's just like you have a shares in a company. You want to see that company do well because there's a sense of ownership, you know. So sharing the process arouses or sparks up that sense of ownership with people, and they're more likely to buy the book because it's like, we did this together, you know. So that's another lesson I learned. Share the process of whatever it is that you're creating right now so that people can be a part of it, okay? And then the third and final lesson I'm going to share is to think about the price. You guys can see that everything I'm sharing, the lessons, is based on marketing and, you know, the aftermath of creating, because I enjoy creating and I love creating, and I didn't think of the aftermath. So that's the lessons that I learned, you know, on my own end. Anyway, so you might watch other videos and the lessons might be different, okay? So anyway, think about the price ahead of time as well. Again, because I was so focused on the value. No, this is not the final lesson. There's one more lesson. So because I was so focused on the value and making sure that people get what I'm trying to teach, I didn't think of the price. I was just like, okay, now there's a book. What do I price it, you know? And initially, I had a price because of the value of the book. I wanted to price it a certain way, but I also had to consider the people that are in need of this product. How much can they afford to pay for this product? Because they are in a place that maybe they don't have enough funds, you know. How much can they afford for this product? You know, you need to consider the two or more things when it comes to pricing, you know. And because I didn't think of pricing, I was asking people, oh, what do you think? The people I gave to review the book, oh, what do you think? How much do you think I should charge for this book? You know, people that were not a part of the process, you know, that didn't know how much value or how much work. Well, the work I put into it is not really the big deal for me. I was more interested in the value, and that's still my own concern till date, you know. So I was asking people about how much do you think this book is worth? How much would you pay for this book? And people were giving way like high prices, and some people were giving ridiculously low prices that I was like, So it was now up to me to like sit down and think, okay, how much do I want to give based on the value that I'm giving for this ebook? And it's not just the ebook. I created a video. There's a video guide attached to the book. So if you buy the book, there's a section that you can click and watch a video on the book. So I sat down, I created this video. There's a lot of work I put into it, you know, just to make sure that people get what I'm trying to teach, you know. So I should consider all of these things when pricing, you know. So yeah, that's something you might also want to consider ahead of time. Again, consider the value and everything and how much you want to price your product, and make sure that it's a win-win for both you and the person buying your product, okay? So now the final lesson that I remember just now is that whatever you create, do not attach your self-worth to that product. Don't attach your self-worth, don't attach your sanity to that product, okay? Do your best, but don't attach your self-worth to that product, because this is something that I also felt like affected me. I felt like if people buy the product and don't get the value from that product, I feel like I've failed, you know? I know that's a good feeling, like it's something to consider, but at the same time, it's not something to get worked up over, because people would always get what they want from books. Like, some people can rave over a particular book, and there will still be a set of people that will be like, that book is trash, you know. So don't attach your self-worth to anything you're creating. If it's a course, if it's an ebook, if it's a physical product, don't attach your self-worth to it at all. Make sure you do your best and just leave it at that, okay? People will get, the right people will get the message that you're trying to pass, okay? And that's the thing. Some people will buy the product just because they want to buy it, and at the end of the day, maybe they don't need that information and they will just call it trash. Maybe they didn't even really sit with it, you know? And even in the book, there's a part that I gave a review in the book. So if you are at the point that you did not really understand everything, or I offered a free session, like a free coaching session for 30 minutes or even 1 hour, just because I wanted people to get the value. And I realized that I was doing so much. I was just doing too much because I wanted people to get what I'm trying to say. And it's now like you're trying too hard to promote yourself or something. There was just a disconnect. It was just not right at that point. So I learned to disconnect myself from the product. Yes, I want people to get the value. Yes, I want to do the very best for the people who are buying my product, but at the same time, I don't want to do too much. I don't want it to affect my self-worth, you know. So don't attach your self-worth. People would always get what they would get from your product, okay? And some people, there will be a percentage of people that won't like it. So don't worry about those people. Just worry about the people who are ready to put in the work. Yes, that's the point. Focus on the people who are ready to put in the work and not try so hard for people who are not even ready and, you know, attach yourself to it. Well, anyway, those are the lessons I learned from creating a digital product. So let me know in the comment section, do you have a product that you're selling right now? Or do you have other means or other passive income that you have right now? What are the lessons you have learned creating that product, selling that product? Let me know in the comment section. And I also want to announce that my coaching business is going to be launched next year. You know, you guys, I already told you about the website and everything that I'm doing, and I probably, you know, talk about that in a separate video, but I just want you guys to know, okay, that my coaching business, I'm scaling up from the ebook. Now I'm scaling up to a proper coaching business. So if you're not yet on the newsletter, if you have not subscribed to my newsletter, do that, because those are the people who would have access to the website when it's ready, and those are the people who enjoy a certain discount freebie, you know, when I officially launch the coaching business next year. All right, so that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you really enjoyed the video, don't forget to click on the like button and the subscribe button if you're yet to subscribe. And to my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much. You guys know I love